noise. CT side start. There we go. You're alive today. I like that a lot. Flush out, one smoke, flashbangs available. They're keeping things fast and loose here. Alex going to be sending all their players towards this side of the map, and Device is surely going to go down. He does manage to find one. That's going to be golden, but they will continue their assault towards this B-bomb site.
Flash does get turned by Brollan, and one of their own doesn't quite catch dupreeh enough. Brollan having a trouble with Glaive, will be exchanged. Flame not available. Won't be able to stop this plant unless Glaive feels like pushing through this wall of smokes. He goes over. Flush is going to have his back turned. It's an easy frag. 2 now for Glaive. JW and KRIMZ remain. JW equalizes. Has a chance on Magisk and gets it before falling. Now a 1v1 for KRIMZ. The 3rd highest ADR at this tournament. And he hits a perfect shot. fnatic are on the board early.
They certainly are, Alex. It's a very fast approach towards that B-bomb site. You're normally guaranteed a plant, and fnatic get one better than that. They win out in the 1 versus 1 against dupreeh. We are going to find ourselves now into round number 2, of course, and it's going to be $2,000 on the nose for Astralis. And it looks like the 4 spies coming through. They are going for this one. It'll be 2 scouts, a UMP, a couple of deagles here. Every chance of winning it, but it's going to be a difficult round. We will have AKs and Galils on the fnatic side. A couple of SMGs thrown into the mix as well. Astralis, in terms of aggression, not presenting too much. dupreeh towards the bathrooms, and they're sending 3 players towards the B side of the map, and that's where fnatic were focusing their efforts yesterday, if you remember.
dupreeh's responsible for Monster, and he does the damage he was hoping for. It softens him up for the deagles. The nade itself does not connect. dupreeh, one of the craziest deagle plays in history of Counter-Strike, happened with this man, his deagle, and this map. Device tested. Will he stand his ground? It looks like he's willing to take another fight. It's a hard shot to hit, and jumping for information, knows when he can back away, but that gap has closed. He may have got caught out just a little bit, will be forced to deploy his smoke, but it will be to no avail. Quick catch from Golden. They extend their lead in round 2.
Yeah, they absolutely should here. 5 versus 3 now, and in terms of the setup of the CTs, they are rotating players over towards the A side. Glaive still on the front line here, UMP in hand, trying to buy some time with the smoke, maybe pushing them back towards the B side, but is it going to work out? 40 seconds here. Flush out with the bomb at the fountain position right now. Makes his way towards long. Brollan at the mouth of the bomb site here. 4 players in total towards the long position. And a bit of a rotation here from Astralis. See if they're going to save their weapons, or assume it's a B-side attack. They would be in a difficult spot either way. It's going to be a full commitment towards the A side now, and it will be a bomb planted. But Glaive, they're at the bank. I think they'll just be better off saving at this stage.
Yeah, I think that was the decision. You just saw the thought process for Glaive. I think he backs away out of that one, realizing the site going to be overwhelmed by fnatic players. And so they convert, and they do so seamlessly. Not a single player going down. The only real success was Astralis opening things up with a scout bullet from dupreeh into Flusha's thigh, but he's still breathing, and the second round goes the way of the Swedes.
Well, Astralis now looking for any sort of exit frags here. It does give them a second bite of the cherry with this saved approach. You can see that UMP in the scouts. Magisk, he's got a very powerful deagle as well. They've got 2 players waiting towards T-Sport. Make it 3 now, as fnatic don't really need to hunt this. They've got weapons to give away, nothing to gain really, as we will see a clean 2-0 come through. fnatic focusing towards long, managing to execute nicely. We didn't see too much of that yesterday. Much more efficient. They've got a good start here, looking for 3-0, but still going to be quite a difficult round here with the saved UMP, deagle, and scout. Round 3, and fnatic presumably go back into another default stance at the beginning of the round, and then we'll see what's available to them.
Yeah. Last time we saw fnatic's Overpass, though, you made the point already, but just to reiterate that them hitting the A site doesn't tend to happen too much once we're into the nitty-gritty of Overpass. At least it didn't. Definitely had a bomb site of choice, and up against the team that have shown just how brutal a B execute can be. JW looking to jiggle with the door, draws fire. He'll be able to suss that out, and without too much of his teammates having to overextend. Glaive and flusha could be having an SMG duel on short, and neither is too successful with it. But Glaive, he's certainly feeling successful. He can escape, avoids the nade as well, and now chooses to re-aggress.
Bomb's still down towards T-spawn for now. flusha waiting for the push towards short. He'll get it, but wasn't ready to duel himself as he was reloading. It's going to be JW here, entering the A side alone, and that's absolutely fine considering it's just a USP waiting for him on this A side of the map. Should be able to find the first pick. He doesn't want to fully commit to this, knowing that he is alone and will give up a weapon if he does go down. KRIMZ starting to edge towards a B side here. Enters through Monster. There is a boosted player available, so that's a couple of frags. First has to get this one towards the barrels here. Now starting to take some damage as the clock runs down further and further.
Good catch from KRIMZ. He stood his ground. Glaive was being a real nuisance with that position and the SMG, but now look at JW. Despite Device getting that info early, he's caught them off guard. Zipex from Heaven shut down. It's only a USB. He's got a good shot at this. dupreeh's got two. And the round will reach its logical conclusion unless Device slices and dice all five. It won't happen, and so another round on the board for fnatic. The buy will come in, though, from Astralis next. Just 4 frags so far for the Danes. It's a rather slow start from them, understandable, after conceding on that pistol.
Yeah, just what the doctor ordered, though, for fnatic. They needed a strong start here in this best of 3. The map pool is going to be a massive weakness for them here. Like we said, Nuke coming up next. Dropping to NIP yesterday. Astralis, different kettle of fish altogether. Needs to really perform here on Overpass. It has to be a win in my book. As we see the all come out for Device, he is one of the best CT players on this map with the AWP. Watch out for him as Zipex looks towards the T-spawn position. Flashes go over. Looks to be quite aggressive here on the CT side. Glaive and Zipex in position. Maybe considering a flashbang push at this stage, and flusha flashing himself a little bit. Not the end of the world, he's absolutely fine.
It was all about showing presence, and I guess he kind of has. Albeit slightly less intimidating presence. That's a T-smoke at the mouth of Monster. Lines up the Molotov nicely and pulls more utility out of the Astralis arsenal. Actually catches Glaive, brings him down to 68. Wonder if that will play any sort of part in this round, especially now the nade has landed as well. flusha, utility, brings Glaive down to half.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. He's just holding towards that B side of the map while his teammates progress up towards long. Boosting the flower bed now, but Device no stranger to it. Does miss the shot, however. You can see dupreeh baited in towards that position, but now he's completely known to be there. Now we'll have to fall back. We'll see if he can find this first frag. Golden, low HP, but a great flashbang, but actually catches him somewhat, it seems. And it will be the first frag for Astralis here, and Device always performs on the A side. Can he deliver here?
20 seconds. Molotovs are going to start flying in. Device forced to reposition. He still has a line of sight. Not anymore. Smoke arrives from his teammate Magisk, and so do bullets. A double kill. Great moves from JW. Puts 2 members of fnatic up against the ropes. Missed shot from Device. They have to get that bomb down, and a frag as well. 2 versus 4, now 2 versus 2. They've leveled it.
Yeah, a couple of misses there from Device. Uncharacteristic by his standards. We'll see now if fnatic can convert this and get the 4-0. Off to a flying start here, and KRIMZ up for another kill, but Glaive will take him down eventually. JW just with the UMP in hand, and no utility. 37 points of health as he makes his way to a long. Bit of a gamble here, and Astralis just tapping the bomb, and now they know exactly where he is. It recovers the Galil, but it looks like his days might be numbered at this stage. Zipex will go for the defuse. JW just has to take down that one player, and it might actually happen here. Not quite. Astralis get the defuse in, but what a close round that was. And that's absolutely fine for fnatic. Remember, they entered that round with a UMP, a MAC-10, and 3 rifles. The fact it comes down to a 1 versus 1, Astralis only going to get $3,500 on top of their very little economy right now. So MP9 being purchased for dupreeh, and fnatic, they've got a full, healthy buy here.
Wow, it doesn't look like the Danes even won. They don't feel like it with an MP9 sacrifice for dupreeh. And the buy couldn't be better for fnatic. They can strike right back on the T side of their map pick. They really are going to have to prove it. dupreeh makes the MP9 work into great avail. He can back away. He has the support of Glaive, or we'll see for how much longer though, because the pressure's coming in. So is the Molotov. dupreeh's burning. Good hold from Glaive. Just leaves flusha and JW, and this round is as good as over. There's nothing they can do about that.
It looked like that was absolute pandemonium there in the connector. Astralis looked uncomfortable. They double smoked to need that connector position, and somehow Glaive delivers the goods there with a double spray down. Himself and dupreeh down at 10 HP, but they've got away with their life. 5 versus 2. At this stage, the objective for fnatic is punish if they can. Device starting to come online now. That's a nice headshot towards JW. Flush up. He will get tagged up somewhat by Magisk through the wooden boards in the door. Could recover the bomb here, but not really much to do with it.
He's in the hurt locker. Bullets coming in from every direction. Glaive's even got the flank covered. flusha, he has 1 avenue to exit, and it's being held by, admittedly, one of the low HP players. dupreeh would be lurking tucked in on the corner of Long. That's the only player really on that side of the map, and Device pushed up, of course, as well.
Yeah, they don't want to challenge this at all. As we mentioned, the Astralis money is so low. Any kill that goes against them now is very important. Want to maintain their crossfires, play deep on the sides, run that timer down, and flusha makes his way towards A. If he gets a plant here, that's great news. That will just maintain their situation, but it's likely he goes down. It's all going to be about timings here, and it's not good news from dupreeh. That's going to yield a plant. That was on a silver platter for him.
Oh, back turned. You can't ask for much more than that. And flusha, he's got more than he ever expected to pull out of that round. A 1 versus 5, and he gets a bomb down. Dreaming.
Yeah. By dupreeh standards, that was a lock-in. That was a done deal. He timed to perfection, caught flusha in the back, committed to the full spray, lost control of it. Cost him his life, and that's pretty significant considering they're going to have 3,500 again. They wanted to make sure they kept every player alive if possible, but still only one goes down as Astralis start to find some rounds now. 2 in a row for themselves, but the plant will allow another strong buy coming forward from the Swedes here. This is where things got very toasty and uncomfortable for Astralis. He's still the player to the right of Glaive there, just struggling in the corner. Somehow got away with it, and it's going to be round number 6 coming through. No AWP on either side, but 3 AKs on the CT forces here. Maybe want to present a bit of aggression at this stage. We'll see if that's on their agenda. Glaive making his way towards B, and dupreeh. There we go, flashbang off the tree now. Looks like he fancied it, but the flashbang will catch him in the face from the T side.
Perfect example of why you want to throw that flash early. Completely stops even the consideration of some early aggression from that side of the map. Bombs in spawn still. Toilet control will be given for free. Of course, fnatic don't know that will work and utilize flashbangs. Clear in the corners. Molotov could get awkward for dupreeh, and he just immediately react. Smokes it off, and he can just set himself up all over again.
Trying to get that map control once more. Astralis seem happy to allow fnatic to have Long most rounds here. You see a boost here for Brollan. He's got the Krieg in hand, looking to open things up. The jump behind the APC is a shot he's certainly capable of hitting. Will you get the chance, though? That is the question. Thinks better of it for now. Time ticking away. 35 seconds, bombs in towards the T-step still. It's recovered by flusha. He's got 45 HP. A finish pretty much has to be the final call here. They have got smokes and molotovs, but CT's ready and waiting. Magisk is one of the strongest anchors in the game. We'll see what he can do at this stage as he holds towards the A side. Device ready with the AK-47.
Oh, he eats the flash, has the smoke to escape into, though, and oh, dupreeh! He's not even going to be able to get one. Now the bomb should be able to go down. Astralis, they're just going to pull the plug on that round. 2 frags, the double Ds die, and they just call to take it into the next. Lovely work from fnatic, right down to the 20 seconds.
I feel like Astralis are giving them too much respect at this point, too much map control. They tried to challenge at the very start, they flashed off, they fell right back towards the bomb site. So much control granted towards fnatic at that stage. They're able to do a full execution with 5 players alive there. Astralis, with the AKs on site, still couldn't find anything. It was Device in the one and done position. Couldn't find that. Flashbang got him right in the face. His teammate drops right next to him as well. They don't find a single frag upon entry. And fnatic extending their lead to 4-2 here on the T side, no less. This is a great showing so far from them. Needed that pistol victory to carry on that momentum, and they've done exactly that so far. Still a buy for Astralis. They are a very disciplined team. They often allow teams to take rounds and just to maintain their own finances, looking at the bigger picture usually. And that's exactly that there. They're going to be taking 3 rifles into the next round. Ideally need that Device AWP to come online here. That's one of the strongest assets they have available to them. Zipex collects the final AK. 4 and 4s around him. Reasonable utility. Back to another default by the looks of things. We have got a bit of aggression here once again. This time from Device. He does flash up and fall back. No real damage exchange just yet.
Through the wall this time. It favors fnatic. Zipex catching a couple from JW. So nade to try and clear the close corner. Seen a lot of action towards connector, actually. He takes that tight Guardian angle, often held with an AWP, hard to work with the rifle. It's information nonetheless. But this is what you're talking about, right? This is that control. He just wanders in.
Yeah. Astralis haven't really played the bathrooms at all. They haven't really been challenging middle too much. They go there at the very start to see if they can get towards fountains. They're flashed off, so fnatic are doing a very good job of keeping them at arm's reach. We'll see now if Device can start stepping up. Long has been an issue for them. dupreeh at the same spot by the flower bed now. Does get the first. It's KRIMZ turning around. The flashbang will catch him though. That's from Golden. Lovely work. A 4-on-4 trade does favor the T's at this stage, but there is a flank coming in from the connector. Device had it from this side. That's a freebie. JW offers himself up.
Oh, and flusha exposed himself even earlier because he jumped. Brollan can't do anything, and Astralis executing fnatic assault at this point. Nothing he can do. Round goes the way of Astralis, and that save, it just pays dividends. They'll even upgrade. They'll grab themselves 2 KRIMZ. Still got that AK, and they're going to be comfortable coming into round 8.
Yeah, they absolutely are. A little bit of a shaky start for Astralis, but as they always say, they're the masters of the slow start here on most maps, especially in semi-finals, where they always seem to stick the landing, but things starting to stabilize for them now. KRIMZ for Zipex and Device as fnatic enter towards the B side of the map with 2 players this time. It will be Golden and flusha deploying utility as well. They'll have to run through the flames. After extinguishing them, of course, it'll be Golden to take 1 tick of damage as they wait for aggression here. We haven't seen Astralis really mix things up too much. 3 players towards B at the start. A bit of presence in the middle, and then they fall right back deep towards the bomb sites.
It's a stark contrast to the overpass that Astralis presented versus Team Liquid. Very different. It was a lot of very early aggression, coordinated CT mid-round pushes, and for now, it doesn't feel like that's something that Astralis deem necessary. Boost from fnatic could be... Oh. You can boost a little further back at eye-line towards the barrels, but we're hoping to catch that ramp player.
Okay, a different change of approach here. We're going to see the boost with the Greek Device, normally there with an AWP, but that scoped rifle will do a very effective job as well. Nice to throw that in once a half or so. As fnatic once again get full long control and bathrooms if they want it. And they head back towards B. We said that's their favorite side coming into this one. That's where they're likely to finish up here. JW still in the bathrooms showing presence. He smoked towards the long A position, but he's falling back towards the connector now. Oh, wow. Magisk will be opening things up. That's going to be towards the monster position. Taking down Golden, and KRIMZ with the bombs on the other side.
This position often finds multi-frags, but KRIMZ ensures today is not one of those. Zipex, by getting that frag, he's managed to completely relocate, has glaive to fill his shoes. It's going to go once again back and forth into the site now. Just 2 remain. Make it 1, make it none. Device and Zipex, no issues as they find the 4th. They equalize after fnatic's strong start on this T side.
This is where Astralis start to get comfortable now. Money's flowing, they can bring out the AWP if required. I don't think we'll see it this round, perhaps, considering they know they're probably up against a partial buy at the very top end. Money started to be whittled away out here, but that's a lovely haul from Zipex there. Really strong stuff. And indeed, 5 rifles once more. I think if one of these players goes down this round, we'll see the AWP into the next. But knowing they're up against the Deagle's armor maybe here, just going to be more the same, really. Don't need to be super aggressive, don't need to throw rifles away. Just work together. It'll be Device just spotting towards the T-steps at the start, holding defensive angles here. Doesn't want to stick around too long. Once that smoke goes down, he'll probably think better of it.
I don't know if Device caught the glimpse of Brollan jumping up for that info, but regardless, the information was there. And oh, so are the bullets. They're actually going to position KRIMZ for the shot. He didn't quite manage to convert, though. Towards playground and back turned again. Timing perfect for dupreeh. fnatic just going to let this one run its course. dupreeh, he could get the timing perfect. Just tagging up Brollan. The rest, the formality, it'll be Device to finish what dupreeh started, and there's another for Astralis. That's now 3 in a row from the Danes. Brollan and Golden yet to come online.
And that's a very good point, actually. If you remember yesterday against NIP, it was Brollan actually got them into the game with that force-bought Krieg and Deagles around him. He managed to win the 3rd round after the 2nd round. Force-buy went against them. He really was the savior of fnatic in that game. Yet to post more than 1 frag here in the semi-final. Big event for him. And glaive now starting to pick up the pace, getting some confidence now. Heads towards the connector, looking to challenge at the start. He's got JW right in front of him. He'll decide to fall back. In terms of the overall complexion, we have got 2 players once again working towards short from Monster. That's flusha and a Golden. Brollan watching for the aggression towards long. And dupreeh and Device maybe feeling themselves a bit more now. They're going to challenge for long control. Instead of playing right back at the APC, trying to bait a player in, they're actually boosting behind the flower bed right now. T's look convinced that B's going to be the best approach for them. There's Zipex going down. That's a wallbang, I believe, as well.
Yeah, he's been trying it this time. Not just the tag, but the frag.
Yeah, it was clean through the wooden boards.
Magisk has work cut out for him. Glaive does have his incendiary, though. fnatic, if they start throwing utility, that's going to really slow down Golden's contribution from the short side. Molotovs are in, so are fnatic. Equal trades favoring fnatic, puts them now just 2 versus 4. Astralis, Device and dupreeh rotating from the other bomb site with a bomb down now. This looks like they're going to have a go, see what they can find. A 1-for-1 trade, perhaps not enough.
I think you might be absolutely right there, Alex. There's going to be Devices trying to take down any players with him if possible. With the Krieg in hand, got nice range, but Brollan's got the same weapon. We wanted him to come online. He gets 3 frags and a massive round for fnatic to tie things up at 5-5 here. That's much more like it, but this is where the game really begins. This is where we get to the exciting stages. We're going to have a double orb setup on the Astralis side. A team historically that haven't really had that within their arsenal, but now starting to experiment with it more and more in the last 6 months. It'll be dupreeh and Device bringing out the heavy artillery for round number 11. No sniper available on fnatic, but they've been very good with the rifle so far. And Device changing things up, getting that flower pad. dupreeh towards the T-steps. He's got a nice gap within that smoke. And they've got a lot of intel from that. They've confirmed that playground is clear, T-steps, no one really challenging. It should be a B focus here. I'd imagine we'd see a rotation with Device towards B here. And indeed, he's going towards the CT steps. Magisk goes down though. That'll be the cue for fnatic to make their ways towards B.
Wow, Brollan's done it again. Opens up the round just when we asked of him. He has delivered. So has Glaive though, keeps things level. They are starting their assault towards the site. Molotov to clear out some of those close corners, but how do they deal with Device? For now, flusha eliminates the most promising threat, and now dupreeh beheaded. Device from heaven, they know exactly where he is. This round is going to be such a tall order for Device.
Looks like he's better off saving at this point. I have to say, I prefer just the single orb for now for Astralis. They hadn't got to that point where they needed the double orb setup. I feel like Device is more than capable by himself. And as soon as you bring the secondary orb out, he can't be as dynamic as he'd like. He can't choose the positions he wants to go to because the secondary orb needs to be a little bit more consistent. So we'll see Device go down. That's a massive investment into round number 11. Astralis give it up, and fnatic just punish the fact that no retake was even possible. Those orbs up there, looking for opening picks at the very start. The Danes got nothing from it, and fnatic once more capitalizing towards that B side of the map. They really seem like they're in tune with that bomb side in general. They like to go there a lot, but more often than not, they actually find the frags required and trade out equally to get the bomb plant.
Yeah, and it's telling as well that JW had an AWP in front of him and chose to stick with the AK.
Indeed.
Perhaps part of his understanding of also the buy Astralis would be presenting. Don't want to get overwhelmed by some fast USPs. Or overwhelmed by a fast Deagle push. Oh, Magisk. He's trying something. Brollan likely to react quickly. He's partnered with Glaive, but it's a flurry of frags in favor of fnatic.
Yeah, looked like that could have fallen apart there. The timings could have been slightly off, but 3 kills found, nothing interesting to report on the CT side, apart from a little bit of damage towards Brollan. That actually looked like he had a lot of potential behind it. Either way, it will be dupreeh and Device with, at the very top end, a 5-7 and a USP. No chance of winning this round, fnatic. I've got it locked in. Just looking for any sort of exit frag, trying to take a rifle into that next round. Money's still going to be a bit of an issue into the next, but for now, it will be Device to go down. That's the 5-7 removed, and dupreeh. There's only real chance from this graffiti position. Trying to take one player down with him, but Flush is surely going to check it. The Des mentioned how smart he is as a player. And there he is. Checks it, shoulder baits it, and now at this point they know exactly where dupreeh is.
It's just so habitual, isn't it, for these players? They will jiggle everything. And that's an evolution Counter-Strike has undergone over the last couple of years. I mean, you talk to Sponge, Chad, he'll say that that's just not something that was happening when he was in competing, at least not so consistently. Every corner, every player just creates that new habit, jiggle the corner, get that info safely.
Well, it will be a tactical timeout for the Danes here. Device will be confirming their purchases as he does get the AWP himself. Now, like I said, I don't think the double orb setup is going to be their go-to here. fnatic are playing a very loose and fast game, to be honest with you. They're going for a default to start, sure, but they're making their decisions to where they're ending up relatively quickly. And you want to be able to be nimble. You want to have those crossfires set up. A player like dupreeh, you wanted the rifle in his hand, and he's going to be influential in their success here. He does go for the M4A4, but they are hamstrung going into round number 13 here. No kits available. Device of no utility to speak of whatsoever. And Magisk will have one of the few incendiaries they actually possess at this stage. Round 13, fnatic sending 4 players towards B at the start. They don't want to pick up the pace and just go for a straight up rush. I think that'd be a great call if they actually have the balls to go through with it. And in we go.
Oh my God, this is going to be so fast. They might even catch them with nades in their hands. They're not going to be ready for this many players. Now the nades can come in, and oh, that's a bit of a team nade. Could be a problem. Glaive continues to make things difficult, but huge from flusha. Wow! 2 frags, the transfer eliminates the B threat. Flank still something that they'll have to consider, likely going to be the job of KRIMZ, but that round secured again. What a call from Golden.
Yeah, that's a really great call. Just when you know you've got them uncomfortable, they've got a weak buy coming through, and they're really adjusting, trying to adapt to what you're doing with these defaults at the start, then execution. Just go for a straight up rush. It works out very nicely indeed. Astralis weren't ready for it. They're actually boosting at the back of that B side, but it's still a 2 versus 2, a very slim chance. And remember, Astralis have no kits. We saw that coming into this round, so probably not even worth it considering their financial situation, the fact they have an AWP as well. Really not the ideal weapon to even considering this one. Well, there it is, fnatic. Great call. Really shuts down Astralis. They were expecting more of the same, and it was anything but. Straight through the monster tunnel with the KRIMZ doing so much work there.
flusha really saved that. Could have got a bit more difficult had he been lined up and knocked down. Instead, though, that's 8 now to 5. Solid T showing on their map pick, and they've got another real good shot of this one. Just 2 saved rifles.
They've dropped dupreeh, the AWP here. He's getting towards the connector at the start. He had the best spawn available. Now we're looking for the drop down from ladder, but no one there for now. Oh, there it is. Is there a chance? He's actually going to be forced. Now it's going to be Device, though, with the M4. The switch-up seems to be working out perfectly for them. Device, the sniper, down to the rifle. He will have 2 kills to his name. He's fallen back as well. 2 big scalps removed, Brollan and KRIMZ. 5 versus 3, but still a difficult one here. They only have 2 weapons to speak of.
Didn't scavenge a weapon. Is the conversation worth having about some housekeeping? Never mind. I think he's just focusing on surviving at this point. JW, wow, that's an important one. Gives fnatic a way back in. Precise headshot, takes dupreeh out, takes an AWP out of this equation. flusha's going to start to posture on B, wants to keep the CTs there, doesn't want his teammates to be overwhelmed, keep the numbers equal, keep the duels fair. Oh, and Device gets another 3 in this round. The last was just 6 HP, and now on the hunt for more.
Wow. He's taking matters into his own hands, isn't he? Oh, JW, wow, that awareness. That presence of mind to actually be aware that he could be taken down in the back there. It's going to be 2 HP for himself, but an advantage for Astralis, but they've lost both their bigger weapons now. Just 3 deagles up against the 2 fnatic players. And of course, be going for this one. It's round 14. They have plenty of money for the final round. 20 seconds remain. And JW to try and crack things open once again towards A. Magisk just hits one of these bullets, especially right in the dome. That should shut things down, but flusha, 10 seconds on the clock. He will find the first and presumably try and get a plant down here.
Glaive's just going to run him down. He knows it. Managed to swing out for the frag, but no time for the plant. Zipex safe and sound in his hidey hole. It will be the Danes picking that one up with just 2 rifles into that.
Well, there we have it. Device had to step up there. He plays on the defensive side of the CT smoke towards the steps. They push through, manages to get 3 frags in total. When he had 6 HP as well, to get the 3rd was very impressive indeed. You saw that replay. That really had all the action.
Yeah, that was everything. Great positioning from Device, though, just hugging that smoke. Question: is it worth questioning what fnatic's call was there? And never mind, because the call right now is to get dupreeh hyper-aggressive. Previously, you highlighted they were flashed off, not this time, and enables him to at least show that presence early. Glaive deals with JW, constant nagging on connector. An early first blood.
Yeah, just to comment on that, I feel like fnatic are playing a much looser game. They're not playing with quote-unquote structure in terms of like a top team would, which is very uncomfortable for Astralis. They're used to playing against very tactical teams, and fnatic are just calling on the fly, but calling around their default, and it's very difficult to contain them if they're hitting all their shots, and flusha is playing like he is. It's overwhelming at times, and you can see Astralis now throwing everything they've got, every trick they have, and it will be flusha. Again, that first kill somehow. Fantastic flash from Golden. But it is the man advantage still for Astralis. Good soap from Magisk. He has to wait for the bullets to be shot through before he can actually make any sort of steps here. Those shots paint him into a corner. And Device now, the AWP. He hasn't been performing this weapon so far, but can he step up now? Oh,
he trusted his flashbang wholeheartedly. Through the monster smoke is a terrifying push, but Golden flashes and frags. He does it all to put fnatic back in good stead to give this round a good go. KRIMZ naded down, but he's on the site alongside his teammates. Brollan crawling through the smoke. He's not done there. Goes hunting. He knows there's going to be another one close quarters. Molotov will enable glaive to push, but straight into the crosshairs of Golden. And the round's done. The half's done. 9-6 fnatic, making a statement on the opening half of their map pick. It's over to them in the semi-final bye, and we're into our second half. Into that pistol round. I'm Machine, he's Henry G.
Yeah, it was a spectacular start for the Swedes here. Exactly what they needed on their T side of Overpass. They're currently sat 9-6, and Astralis, they'll need this pistol, need some wind in their sails, I would say. Got himself a couple of smokes, a couple of flashbangs as well. Upgraded pistol for Device. He's also got Kevlar, so he's got that Superman setup here. But Golden and JW feeling extremely brave as they push toward the short pipe into potentially Xipex's crosshair. He's playing a very defensive game. They might be in a lot of trouble here, but they could time it well. He will fall back and join his teammates. Oh, the timing couldn't be better. CT's actually pushing right behind him.
So well, especially if a couple of frags go fnatic's way. That might slow them down enough for the flank to come in and play a part in this round. Brollan's going to get pressured. He may not be ready for this. Yep, caught off. Xipex catches the equalizer, catches Brollan sleeping, strafing, to be more specific.
We have JW here at the T-steps.
Checking this. He is. Nice work from JW. He does not want to let this round slip away. Magisk has gone 17 frags from JW. He's done this round on his own.
Yeah, that is so wild from him. He pushes all the way towards B. The timing couldn't have been better there. And the shots, he goes one step further than that. 3 headshots found, round shut down. At this point, glaive, all he can hope for is the bomb to be planted. He might actually be able to do that, you know. The B side's relatively clear. They're nowhere to be seen. So bomb will be planted. At least give some AKs in the next round if they wish. And, wow, flusha. They are looking like they're high rolling in the fragging department right now.
It was always something. Desks for years after the glory days would talk about fnatic and the fact that if X shows up, if Y is there, playing in the form we know they're capable of, they really can do damage, and this is a prime example of it. JW, there's nothing Astralis can write in the strat book that stops them falling to shots like that.
Yeah, really special stuff there. Enjoyed that a lot. Astralis will indeed force by in the second round. 2 KRIMZ, didn't find many kills, so can't get the third. But there will be deagles across the board apart from that. So they have got the smokes available to them. And you can see fnatic ready and waiting for this. They get themselves 4 rifles, not focused on the SMGs at all, just flush it with a UMP. That seems to suit him, to be honest with you. He'll be more than comfortable with that weapon. Slower approach here from Astralis. Usually don't want to fire off any bullets, don't want to go for any spams. You want to approach together silently and then strike with a pounce-like maneuver.
Preparing for the pounce. Hoping for an extension from fnatic, and now they are going to show some of their hand. A smoke towards heaven. fnatic ready their responsive utility. Flush is planning to flash to enable the peek from Golden and KRIMZ on the swing. No one's there. Actually, never mind. That flash went even further. That was in support of the other site. Here comes the push, though. 30 seconds, and already dupreeh finds a way in. Magisk could get caught out, but it's not enough from Flush's UMP. Now they're everywhere. He's got so many different angles to deal with. Good spray from KRIMZ, but it's not enough to best Magisk. This round, this take, coordinated and effective. Astralis, they have the sight, and there's nothing the CTs can do about it.
Yeah, overwhelming and well-timed approach there from Astralis. You can see how powerful that force buy in the second round is if you get the bomb planted in the pistol, regardless of a win or loss. We will see 2 kills for dupreeh. Excellent work there, and fnatic, yes, this is the best approach at this point. You haven't really got the resources to even challenge this plan, and it's Astralis keeping 5 players alive and potentially able to recover a couple more upgraded rifles here. We are going to see Device get the M4A4, and glaive still on the pistol, no armor, but it doesn't seem to be a problem. They're going to keep all 5 players alive here. They do not want to hunt themselves. They want to make sure they keep the money as strong as possible, and they're probably fine with fnatic force buying the next round. They want to ruin their money. They want to put them in a very difficult financial spot. But there it is, Astralis winning the second round here, and that's going to be 10-7 overall. They are certainly capable of making a comeback on the T side. They are one of the most tenacious squads you will find in all of esports, to be honest with you. So good at making these comebacks and holding their nerve, Alex.
Yeah, and holding their utility. I mean, by the time they'd won that round, quote-unquote won that round, they were still directly hitting KRIMZ with smokes. There was more follow-up utility to come afterwards. Wow, it's rare to see so many of Astralis resources all in one place. If pushes like this continue, information can be conveyed and response from Golden can be given. Maybe mollied, creates a smoke to play around, but already Device is out on the side. The flash doesn't slow him down. The CT smoke, however, will. Nice work from Glaive, though. Pushing up on short, they're all there. fnatic to receive them. So much utility being exchanged, and not many bodies dropping. Always favoring Astralis. KRIMZ changes it and turns the tide just a little bit, but still, Astralis have the site.
Still a chance for Brollan, though. They don't seem to be aware of his positioning. He has got 3 players to find, but is the bomb even being planted at this point? Well, it doesn't seem to matter. It will be dupreeh, ready and waiting for the trade there. There was a chance for Brollan, a slight one. He did absolutely everything he could, gets that first kill, but dupreeh, very smart, very ready for it. It's going to be 2 rounds in a row for Astralis after another very successful B approach. You're right, the utility usage there, it was stifling for the CT defense. You can see they're ready. They had a decent crossfire. They're flashbang after flashbang. No vision at all. It's a bit of a staple of the Astralis game, being so good with the grenades in total. And we are going to have pretty much a full EK here. Just $300 invested with the P250. They've gone for a 5-man B stack, I believe. Just 1 player towards A, actually. And taking a leaf out of the Astralis book. This is actually an approach they used to do back in the day, stacking towards the water, in towards the B bomb site. Haven't seen it for a while.
A whole lot of precise dinks. Device is a perfect weapon for the job. It's been spotted. Doesn't have the numbers just yet.
You see what they're doing though? They're sending Device with the MAC-10. No one else is fully committed at this stage. If he goes down, if he detects a lot of players here, they'll call to go back towards A. If he goes in and kills a few of them, they'll be fine with that. They can still make their way through. Now it's feeling like this is a bit of a stack. I would say fall back at this stage, and they're actually going to struggle a little bit, taking a lot of damage. You said the dinks had to come through. They certainly are. Still with the advantage here. They haven't given anything away just yet. But still, I feel like just throwing the MAC-10 in and confirming there's 3-4 players there, probably a time to get out with 40 seconds on the clock especially. dupreeh will find the penultimate frag and JW to be dealt with. So a little bit messier than you would expect, but still 3 players surviving. They wanted to get rid of the MAC-10 anyway. That's fine as they look to get closer and closer towards the double digits and tying things up here. Is there an AWP available on the CT side? I don't think there is. They would have to go glass cannon if they were going to try and bring that out. FAMAS for flusha. No kits available. I would expect a slightly aggressive approach here from the fnatic side, considering their difficult spot they found themselves in here.
Let's see what the call may be. dupreeh making it clear he wants to go fast, but look at what cost? Bullet through the wall from flusha, nade combined. It's a brutal mix. Golden's only got 4 frags. The impact frags, admittedly though, held the monster push not once but twice.
Well, there we go. That's fine by KRIMZ. They maintain the advantage, take another player down. Magisk with the trade, but does he anticipate this position from Golden? Time will tell. Who comes on the top? Oh, what a shot that is. Magisk down to 34. Aware that he's vulnerable to grenades there, falls right back and sees what the reaction is. Remember, CTs and no kits. FAMAS for flusha, but they still have a couple of smokes and an HE. Every chance of winning this. This is a massive round for both teams. Problem is, Alex, with Nuke coming up next, as we mentioned, this is a must-win for fnatic. They looked a little bit lost against NIP on that map yesterday, and hopefully they can pull this one off and maybe even take us to Inferno. That'd be great.
And Inferno, you know what? I'd be willing to take a chance on fnatic there. Certainly much more so than Nuke.
Absolutely, yeah.
Well, the Swedish underdogs on home soil have 25 seconds to stop that bomb from going down or eliminate the 3 remaining Danes. The flashes will fly in, or rather Molotovs and smokes for now. It does look like Brollan's going to try and keep himself safe. 15 seconds. Device has got the weapon for the job now. Upgrades. It's just 1 man. Magisk is low and they convert. Well, a single body dropping in the mid-round. That's lovely from fnatic. And they find their first real round, actually, after the pistol on the CT side to put 11 on the board.
Yeah, that wasn't bad at all. Interesting plays at the very start there. Enjoyed this. They needed a quick frag, as we mentioned. It's the HE and wallbang follow-up from flusha. You can't teach that. That's just excellent work. And it will be fnatic picking up a massive round there. Love that push from KRIMZ as well, just to sabotage a very tactical team. Every player you take down, as long as you can maintain the advantage, that's absolutely worth it. P250 for Zipex, Mac 10 for Device. They are struggling as they limp into round number 21 here. What's the approach? You have 5 players outside B. I would assume an execution here. Magisk, you know he's to be checking this boost position, but can he nail the shot?
Oh, the flash, it just pops out of nowhere. Very little time to react. flusha punished as well for trying the same wallbang. But he does go for it again. The counter wallbang could come in, and he takes the damage. Down to 37, but they accelerate. Caught with flashes. KRIMZ is going to try and reposition, but Golden is in prime position. Double kill from Golden. He's done his hard work. This round should be fnatic's as well. Just dupreeh. Device has only got the Mac 10. How far will that get him?
Wow, apparently a nice opening kill for them. We'll see now a 3 versus 2, but look at the HP. Oh, flusha. Oh, I beg your pardon, 4 on 2.
Easy to miss 1 HP.
Yeah, how did he survive that one? He managed to dink dupreeh at the start through the wall, so that's one of the players still alive and kicking. 40 seconds remaining, and Device really doesn't have much of a chance here. Has he only got the Glock now? I believe he has.
He was hoping to try and find that rifle.
He
hoped that the smoke was covering it. He'll go back and find his Mac 10. Where did I put it? Oh, there it is.
I guess he just didn't want to make noise when he picked the weapon up by dropping the Mac 10.
Makes a lot of sense. But now he realizes that this round is completely and totally over. Hoping to take a rifle away from fnatic. He can't do it. dupreeh keeping hold of his. But 12 for fnatic, and they string 2 together up against the Astralis buy.
Yeah, they're looking very good, fnatic. They've been doing their homework overnight. They've worked out their game plan to take down Astralis. Had to win some pistols, had to get a good start here. I actually think starting to fall apart in the earlier stages of the second half, but they've really come back to life here. This is impressive. Golden especially, holding his nerve in that B execution, using the pillar to dodge the flashbangs, getting a lovely double spray down there. dupreeh will save the creep, but they can't justify much more around it. Couple of P250s, 1 deagle for Device, but we saw yesterday players like Brollan with just that 1 rifle can open things up, especially the Krieg, which seems to be getting more and more popular as time goes on. Hands to dupreeh, the entry fragger of Astralis. If there was a man they would like to crack things open here, he would be it. No way. It felt like he was pulling the trigger there.
Yeah, it did. Glaive Device, though. Does look like they catch an aid. Brollan willing to go aggressive. He knows he has the advantage. He wants to press the issue. dupreeh, however, bringing that rifle in. Will test him and trade. Very little in terms of supporting cast for this, though. A P250 in that a tagged up Desert Eagle play, but Device's angle was good, not good enough. JW, quick flick. fnatic just 2 frags away from 13. Oh, JW's going to put an AWP on the ground. Zipex the one to force it from him.
Well, this is an interesting moment now. With 40 seconds on the clock, there is actually a chance Astralis can do this. It'll be dupreeh with the bomb on his back, making his way towards that B side. Zipex will hold towards the bathrooms. He hasn't got armor, but he has got a smoke and a flash, so he could set up a smoke towards the A side of the map, potentially flash over, try and keep 2 players there. Makes his way towards the connector, so maybe saving the smoke for heaven at this stage in order to try and set up a fake of any sort. And Golden, he's surely got himself a guaranteed kill. And now dupreeh, all he can really do is go for the plant. He won't have much time to reposition here. That's if it even gets planted. Golden's hot on his heels here. Be aware of it, but can he find the shot? Nice work from Golden, not to overcommit. He wants to make sure that all his teammates are there, and that's exactly why.
That's exactly what fnatic perhaps in times past have fallen foul to. It is the eagerness to make the play. This time, you can see the restraint. Golden lets that round come in. They go retrieving the rifles that they may have lost, but Astralis, they make a lot out of a little. 1 saved rifle. You see how Brollan started this one off. Not only 1, but he gets 2 before the rifle and the Krieg was spotted. Good damage to dupreeh, which is eventually converted. But the bomb down, nonetheless, that's something for Astralis.
Yeah, nice to see Brollan and Golden posting numbers in the second half. They were both very quiet in the first, but they're actually doing a lot of heavy lifting here in the second half there, especially Golden. Just getting those key frags towards the B bomb side, playing disciplined CS, doesn't seem frustrated at all by a quiet first half. Really good to see. Enjoying this from fnatic so far. It's going to be 13-9. Astralis on the ropes at this stage. Pick the fnatic here. They said it was a must win, and they're on course to do so. 13-9. Krieg's out. 1 AK as dupreeh will be pushed back by the incendiary. Takes a couple of ticks there as well, down to 89. flusha seems to master of causing chaos through these wooden boards. Can he find another dink here?
He's got the lineup. It's enough to force a change of play, perhaps even pace from Astralis. Device. Is he going to be anticipating this position from JW?
It's a difficult one.
Back of the pillar. Now gets the info, gets the shot. JW, he can back straight out of that one. Mission accomplished. Quick trade though from Magisk. At what cost? Down to 13.
Well, they will finish up towards B once again. Glaive has to recover the bomb. It's right back at the T-steps. A contact play from dupreeh and Zipex, trying to surprise flusha, but you've got to wake up pretty early in the morning to take him down. KRIMZ will be in a crossfire with him. They've done so much damage there. Magisk and Zipex with nothing between them. Glaive will push with the smoke, but it looks like this round's done. Astralis starting to flounder here somewhat. 25 seconds remaining. Molotov's out of position, and KRIMZ is just relentless. Flashbang comes through, making things very uncomfortable for the Danes. It looks like this round's done. I don't see a world where they do anything with this.
This is brilliant stuff from fnatic. Wow.
Yeah, it really is. It's impressive so far.
It's so rare to see an Astralis T-side halted in this regard.
They seem a little bit phased at this point. Astralis will have to save their two KRIGs just by virtue of the HP. They just don't have anything to work with there. No grenades, nothing at all. KRIMZ trying to find the final few players there, but they're in touching distance, taking this first map now. 14-9 for the Swedes. And there will be a tactical timeout called from Astralis here. They're second so far, and my God, do they need it. Great stuff from KRIMZ. Good to see him at that level once again today.
Yeah. Chance for Zonic to get on the microphone. The sixth man of Astralis. He's been there for those trophy lifts, the 4 stars on the jersey. 4 major trophies in the cabinet, man. That's just unheard of.
It's not bad, is it? I prefer to get 5 myself, but 4's pretty good.
Yeah, 5's pretty cool, but 4's all right.
Yeah, you know.
Good to hear the fnatic chants. They've been working on that one since yesterday. But 14-9, they just need 2 more. Can they hold their nerve? We know Astralis in particular are no strangers to being back against the ropes and just finding a new lease of life.
Yeah, that's the thing. So many teams are very good to getting that 14th round, but getting number 16 against Astralis is one of the hardest feats in all of CSGO, I would say. The mentality shifts. You start thinking about being the player that gives the rounds up, that lets them back in. Ooh. But Brollan, he might be anything but that, because he's just dunked a nade on them that's done a lot of damage. Even more so now. What a fantastic play that was from the young Swede. It's going to be a 5 versus 2 now. Zipex will pull one back, but the damage has been done.
Brollan knew he was safe because of JW's aggressive AWPing. Catching Astralis off. It's not often I find those words coming out of my mouth, at least not with any degree of consistency. And look at KRIMZ with this read.
Wow.
Opted to go lower, and Brollan, he was not done. Bomb loose, round 1, unless Device, with 60 seconds admittedly, can overcome the odds, overcome the Swedes. First option is Brollan.
If he hits this shot, oh my God, I was about to say it would take a 90-degree turn and then taking down Device there. Either way, Brollan completely shuts the round down. He's the new Swedish wonder child, that's for sure, as KRIMZ will confirm things. It's 15-9. No one anticipated this. Astralis, at points this year, untouchable on the map, defining how it's played. And at this stage, fnatic just have their number, shutting them down. Look at this accuracy from Brollan, so confident in his own ability, and he wanted a bit more out of that. Completely destroys Zipex, and that's the round over. Map point, round 25, 15-9, UMP for Glaive. If there was a chance to shut Astralis down, this would be it. They've barely got any utility between them whatsoever. They've got 1 smoke remaining, a couple of flashbangs, 1 Molotov. Has to be the contact play here, Alex. And Magisk, he isn't going down without a fight here.
If there's one man that's a big part in that comeback machine, it's Magisk, always finding a way in when the pressure starts to mount. flusha, however, does best him, and now willing to take another fight. My goodness, fnatic! Just like that, a dunk to finish. They have come and made a statement, map 1 of this semi-final.
That's impressive. I was not anticipating this level.